swing into Milo harvest today. We switched from beans to Milo. There's BrookeAnna in the grain cart tractor. I don't know if you can see her, but she's in there. And we've got 3 combines running in this field. The reason we have 3 combines going in Milo is because the 7720, our old combine that Dad likes to run, it does not have a bean head on it. We actually put a row head on it. To cut Milo. This year we have a lot of down Milo, and so we actually have 2 row heads this year. We've got a 6-row row head and an 8-row row head for the 9600, and we're running both of those combines in these Milo fields to go around and get the spots where the Milo is starting to fall down. The reason the Milo is falling down is because, kind of like we've said in all of our other videos, when it didn't rain for 45 days, Milo is drought tolerant enough that it can put everything it has into filling seed, and it can still make a good crop on no water, but it doesn't put enough into its stock that's holding it up. And so it puts on these big heads, and they weigh a lot, and then the stalk doesn't quite have enough to finish to hold, and so the plant eventually falls down. And this happens, we've noticed, more so on, again, some of our ground that isn't good soil, that didn't have enough water holding capacity. And so some of these upland fields we're cutting, there's a lot of Milo that's falling down. But these row heads are able to go and get it, and they're able to pick it up off the ground. And so we're not actually seeing a lot of yield loss. It just takes longer to harvest it, which is okay, because when you got 3 combines in the field, it is hard to keep the grain away from the combines. BrookeAnna is running around the grain cart, and our semi-drivers, Isaac and Mom, are going back and forth, trying to keep up. And so it's okay if we can't harvest as fast. We're just making sure that we can get all the Milo that we can, because it's such a good year for Milo that we want to make sure that we're harvesting everything we can.
Using a row head this year, as you've seen in other parts of the video. Not quite as easy as a flex head, and more of the plant has to run through the combine, which is more wear and tear, but it's worth it to get to pick up the extra grain that you would have left on the ground. So it means cutting out different parts of the field and trying to cut in a perfectly straight line. This field is actually 3/4 of a mile long, and so we parked the trucks in the middle of the field, and then the grain cart has been running mainly between 2 combines, and then the 3rd combine is pretty much just going down and back and dumping. And so that's kind of how we're doing it. Here's an example of a down spot where the row head gets down there and gets its snoot underneath there and pops it up. So that's kind of how that works. Looks like a corn head, but it actually operates differently. It has, instead of stock rollers, it has belts that line up each plant.
Hey everybody, I'm BrookeAnna, I'm Greg's wife. This is my second almost full day in the grain cart. So I have about, 2.5 days of driving experience driving the grain cart. Getting lots of driving in, a lot of repetition, which is good, since that's how I learn best, is getting the rhythm of everything. So the field we're in today has quite a few terraces actually, so it's a pretty bumpy ride, especially when the grain cart's full. Making a lot of good progress, and we're, I think, mostly done with soybeans, and now we're moved on to Milo or grain sorghum. So that's what we're working on today.
So you can see I'm cutting the end rows off here. You can see how thick each row of Milo is. We're really happy with it. It's awesome. So a lot of you probably have questions about what Milo is. Milo is also called grain sorghum, and it is basically used as a more drought-tolerant version of corn. It's used for cattle feed, it's used for ethanol, it's used to make some different food products. A lot of Milo gets exported to places like China. They use it for a lot of different things there. But Kansas is the #1 Milo producing state, or sorghum. There's also two types of sorghum. There's grain sorghum and forage sorghum. Grain sorghum is usually shorter and it puts more of its energy into producing seed, whereas forage sorghum is just a really tall version. Sometimes it can get up to 10 feet tall or taller. But this Milo is so good this year. It's actually, I don't know if you can tell, it's about 5 feet tall. Not quite as tall as me, but close, which is pretty tall for grain sorghum. And we're really happy with the yield. And the price this year is really good as well. We've got a Milo basis at the elevator that's almost $1 more than corn. And so this is definitely a great year to grow Milo. It's a great year to grow corn as well, but we're getting paid more for the Milo. So we're pretty happy about that.
So I'm sure some of you are wondering how I got roped into driving the grain cart. The reality is I'm more than happy to learn and to be able to contribute to the farming operation this way. I didn't grow up on a farm or anything. I don't have any prior experience driving farm machinery, but I am willing to learn and I'm excited to learn, and so yeah. So
next to our Milo field here is our neighbor's Christmas tree farm. He just planted them, so they're still pretty small, but he's got his own YouTube channel he just started. If you guys want to check that out, it's called Watkins Tree Farm, or Christmas Tree Farm. And so we've got 2 YouTube channels going on here in our section here.
With a full bin over to dump in the semi there. So making our way over there. Making my way down through the field to dump in the semi. There's where we're dumping. There's one of our combines. There's the second one, and then Greg's way up there over the hill. We'll see if I can kind of multitask here. So there we're going, we're rolling. Got a lot of back and forth with the trucks, just because there's so much Milo. Auger's going back in, and David's putting the tarp on the semi. So, and now I'm headed back to Greg. So dirty, you can't really see all that much, but there goes Greg. Greg and I got married 2.5 years ago, and so ever since then, you know, before COVID, we were doing a lot of traveling so he could do speaking engagements. Our normal lifestyle since we got married had been traveling a lot, farming during the really busy seasons. Everything with the virus started and shut down large group events and everything. That was a big shift for us, to not be traveling so much and to not be doing events anymore. Yeah, thankfully we've been able to be home and to be part of the busy harvest season, both with wheat harvest in June, and then now with fall harvest also. So that's been really good, and yeah, just a lot of good family time. Marla, the guys' mom, has driven trucks for them, I think ever since she married into the family, and so she's just a rock star, and she has taken so many loads to the elevator just this year, let alone over the last 30 years of her and David being married. So she's just awesome. It's just fun to brag on my mother-in-law a little bit. Whenever I would meet people like at speaking events and stuff, they would always say like, oh, don't let them get you roped into driving anything, otherwise you'll be on the hook forever. And it's just kind of funny because I don't mind it. I like being able to contribute in this way, and I'm willing to learn, and I'm happy to get to be a part of it. So you know, I like being a farm wife. A good old Texas standoff. I don't know if you can really, yeah, you can see them on video. Those are all birds. They're just wanting to eat the Milo, I guess, but they're just hovering. I got Kobe now. He's our riding buddy. He does so good in the tractor. He just loves it. Kobe's really mesmerized by the combine. Huh, Kobe? Well, it looks like I'm done for the day, so I guess I should have kept track how many loads I did, but I didn't, so it was a lot. And we'll keep going tomorrow, but yeah, overall I'm enjoying driving the grain cart and being part of the big harvest day, and looking forward to some more driving later on.
Dad is finishing up this strip, and I'm going over here to the Dodge over here to eat some supper. There you can see him picking up some Milo off the ground. Kobe has been riding along all day. He rode with me for a while, and then he rode with Mom to the grain elevator, and then he rode with BrookeAnna in the grain cart, and now he's back in the combine. Not even tired of it. It's crazy. My windshield wasn't so dusty. See a lot better. Alright, well, we're finishing this field out. Another good day. Pretty excited about it. Looking forward to going to sleep tonight though. I'm tired. Tonight's Friday, so I just got one more day before we get another Sunday off. And we'll probably just have one more week to harvest if everything goes well. Yeah, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. We'll see you next time.